Wonder why a body you've been working this hard on still feels like it's held together with duct tape and regret? Today, I'll explain the missing half of every workout you've ever done, like you're 5 years old. By the end, you'll understand exactly why your body hurts and what's actually causing it, and what 10 minutes can do that 60 minutes of lifting never will. Here's the thing most people don't realize. You can build muscle and burn calories. You can show up every single day and still feel worse than someone who barely lifts. That's because the other half of the equation is something the fitness industry almost never talks about. Not because they forgot, because it doesn't sell. Here's where the tension lives, and it's not where you think. You worked out 4 times this week, and you should be proud of that. But your lower back aches when you sit down. Your shoulders feel locked up. You figured that's just aging. Just the price of working hard. That's not aging. That's a body that's been loaded without ever being released. Here's the conventional wisdom the fitness industry built its business on. Lifting builds the body, and stretching is just the cool down. The afterthought. The thing you skip when you're short on time. The fitness industry made billions, convincing you that the rep is the point. The burn is the goal, and the sweat is proof you did something real. Stretching is for yoga people and physical therapy patients, not serious lifters. But here's where the evidence breaks that story completely. Your muscles don't just get bigger when you lift, they also get shorter. Every time you do a bicep curl, your muscle contracts and bunches up to do the job. But if you never lengthen it back out fully, and most people don't, it starts to stay that way. A little shorter and a little tighter each session. Workout after workout, your body adapts to the contracted position as the default. Research suggests that chronically tight muscles can lose meaningful amounts of their functional range in a matter of months, without a single injury ever occurring. Think of it like a rubber band you keep stretching in only one direction. Eventually, it stops snapping back all the way. That's not dramatic. That's just what repetitive stress does without recovery. And this is where it gets interesting. Your brain is involved in this in a way nobody talks about. Your nervous system is always taking notes. Every position you put your body in, every range of motion you use, or don't use, your brain logs it. What you don't use regularly, your brain quietly marks as dangerous territory. It starts limiting how far you can move into those ranges. Not because your muscles physically can't go there, but because your brain won't let them. It's a protection mechanism. And it runs silently in the background of every workout you've ever done. Here's the plot twist. Stretching isn't about lengthening your muscles. Not primarily. It's about convincing your nervous system that a range of motion is safe. You're not fighting your muscle tissue. You're renegotiating with your brain. Every time you hold a stretch, breathe through it and signal to your nervous system that nothing is wrong. You're expanding the territory your body is willing to move through. That's why consistency beats intensity when it comes to stretching. A daily 10-minute session will outperform an occasional aggressive 30-minute one every single time. You're not forcing anything open. You're earning trust back, slowly, on purpose. So what does that actually do for you? Everything. And here's how it shows up in real life. When your hips can't move through their full range, your lower back compensates. Every squat, every step, every time you lean over to grab something, your spine picks up the slack your hips were supposed to handle. Over time, that adds up. That's why your back hurts. Not because your back is weak, because your hips have gone quiet and your back volunteered to cover for them. Noble, terrible long-term strategy. Studies consistently show that hip mobility restrictions are one of the leading contributors to chronic lower back pain in otherwise active people. Not heavy lifting, not weak cores. Tight hips. When your chest and shoulders are locked forward from years of sitting, typing, and lifting with no counter movement, your rotator cuff starts absorbing forces it wasn't designed for. Your neck takes on stress that should be spread across your whole upper body. You start getting headaches you blame on screens or stress. Meanwhile, the root cause is structural. Your body is just trying to function inside a shape it got stuck in, sometimes years before the pain ever showed up. Here's the part that should make you furious. The more you lift without stretching, the more you reinforce that stuck shape. You're literally building strength on top of a bad pattern. The fitness industry sold you the rep and told you the burn was the point, and quietly left out the part where unaddressed tension compounds every single session until your body stops cooperating. That's not an accident. A stretching routine doesn't require a gym membership, a supplement, or a coach, so nobody's rushing to explain it to you. It feels like waking up and standing up without that first 5 steps shuffle. It feels like turning your head to check your blind spot and not wincing. It feels like picking something up off the floor and just picking it up. No bracing, no "that didn't feel great" moment after, just a body that moves the way a body is supposed to move. That's what 10 minutes a day starts to give you. Targeting hips, hamstrings, chest, and thoracic spine, the areas your workout loads the most, starts changing things within 2 weeks. Not because you've unlocked some ancient secret, because you're finally completing the cycle your body has been waiting for. Contract, release, load, restore. That's the full loop. Most people run the first half on repeat and wonder why they feel half broken. There's also something almost nobody mentions: stretching. Done slowly, with breathing, without forcing, activates your parasympathetic nervous system. In plain terms, it's your body's off switch, the rest and digest mode. The thing that lowers stress hormones, slows your heart rate, and tells your body it's safe to recover. Hard training spikes your cortisol. That's supposed to happen. It's part of how you adapt and get stronger. But if you never bring it back down, you're leaving your body in low-grade fight-or-flight mode long after you've left the gym. You're inflamed, restless, tired at night but somehow wired. Your sleep quality drops, your appetite becomes harder to regulate, and your muscles repair more slowly than they should. You're wondering why recovery feels so slow when you're technically doing everything right. The stretching isn't just for your muscles. It's the signal that the emergency is over. Here's the thing your gym will never put on a poster. There's no equipment required for this. No supplement, no app, no membership upgrade. Just you, a floor, and 10 minutes of something that doesn't look impressive and doesn't photograph well. And that is exactly why it gets skipped every time. The fitness industry optimizes for what's sellable. Recovery that costs nothing isn't in the business model. But here's what changes when you understand the real game. You stop wondering why your body hurts. You stop blaming your age. You stop assuming that feeling stiff and beat up is just the price of working hard. It isn't. It's the price of running half the program. The lift is real. The effort is real. But without the release, your body never finishes the cycle. It just loads, loads, loads until something protests loudly enough that you're forced to stop entirely. And when that happens, you're not just dealing with soreness anymore, you're sidelined. You're not lazy for skipping the stretch. Nobody told you it was load-bearing. They sold you the rep and forgot to mention the release. That's not a gap in your discipline. That's a gap in what you were taught. Here's what you now know. Lifting shortens muscles, and your brain adapts to those shortened positions. Quietly, automatically, without asking permission. Stretching isn't about flexibility. It's about resetting your nervous system and earning back the range your brain decided wasn't safe. And without it, every rep you do builds strength on top of a pattern that's already working against you. The hard training is only half the loop. The stretch closes it. So here's the question I want to leave you with. If the 10 minutes you skip every session is doing more damage than the 60 minutes you showed up for, what's actually the workout?